Hi there. So I'd like to talk a bit about more about the year of the fire horse. I posted a video last night, pretty short, but I wanted to go actually into the Decan where the shift occurred from the snake to the fire horse. And that was the final Decan of Aquarius. Now that Decan has passed. It was from February 9th until the 18th. The shift from snake to fire horse, and that's with snake to fire horse, occurred on February 17th. And I just wanted to look at the cards associated with that time in conjunction with this. The card for Aquarius is the star. And I'm actually using, usually when I speak about the decans in astrology, I use the Star Tarot. But because the lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year is so moon related, I'm going to use the Sufi deck. And I just love the movement of this deck with regard to the moon. So here we go. This is the card for Aquarius. It is the star, and I adore how she's pouring her vessel onto the path that leads toward that big and beautiful star. And that seems like such a beautiful new beginning time. This image really does speak of new beginnings. Interestingly, I just noticed, I don't know a whole lot about Chinese culture, but I'm noticing she's wearing red, and I seem to recall that red is strong with the Chinese New Year. I do not, I'm not an authority, but it just popped to mind. Let's put that there. The second card associated with Aquarius is the Fool, and that is for the ruling planet of Aquarius, which is Uranus. And I think they make perfect sense together in this context. And yeah, and you do get with these two images that same feeling of freedom, of lightness, of optimism. So to move on a little bit, let's see. The third decan of Aquarius is ruled by Libra, which is actually, I want to backtrack a tiny bit. This is not about the decan of Libra, but when I thought of this new year, this year of the horse, I immediately thought of the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Rods, this pure, strong energy that is available for this year, for this time, continuing throughout the year. Of course, this is just the energy available. We must, of course, shape it in the best and most wonderful way for each of us. It is pretty cool. I'm sure you've heard loads and loads about the astrology, the current astrology, but there is a big happening with the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries, and if that is not the ace of wands or rods, I don't know what else is. I just think it's so cool that these things are all happening at this particular time. Like feels like a very energizing and optimistic time, and then feeling like there's so much available energy for us to move through gracefully, because the horse is so graceful and so beautiful, and when 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 treated with honor and respect, it's it just I don't know. I'm not making a whole lot of sense, but I really feel like with honor, the flow will be smooth and beautiful and strong, and yeah. So let's see. What else do we have? Okay, back to the Decan. The so the third Decan of Aquarius is ruled by Libra, and of course that's the Justice. In this deck, I love that that she's holding the scales of justice up high, and she's pointing the sword of truth toward her feet, to the ground, to where she's come from the path that she has walked. And that does make me think in this transition of honoring the probably unsung, yes, the unsung strength and contribution of the year of the snake, and with that, with the paths that have been created, the new paths, the things that have been released, all of that leads to the point of being able to stand tall and hold the scales of justice in balance. Running out of space as usual, but oh, all right. The planet for Libra is Venus, and that is the Empress. And here she is, and she so reminds me of. I just adore this card, and I adore the energy of the Empress. Yeah, and I really love how confidently and easily she sits, and there is no, I don't know, there's just no baggage with the Empress energy. She's just pure from the heart. And what I find really cool about this card and the Empress energy is that the purity of her drive, the gentleness of her drive, and purity of her heart, what she's created. You can see how it has expressed outward into the world that surrounds her. And may we all create the most beautiful lives for ourselves during this time and always. The last card for this final decan, the final decan of Aquarius, is the Seven of Swords. And that is an interesting card in this deck. He's running running away from the light. It's almost and there's shadows in the trees behind, if you can see right there. Shadow watching him in the trees behind. I don't know that what he's running from, the fear, his fear is not it's not real. It almost feels that he's running from an imagined an imagined bad thing, bad future, a mistrust. He's running from an imagined mistrust. and he's tossed aside 2 swords in his haste. But if you notice that the 2 swords that he's left in haste are actually being illuminated by the light. So in this transition, there might, because it's so fresh, there might be that feeling of finding one's legs, one's gait, and I think a message might be also that that if you feel that maybe you missed a chance, missed an opportunity, there are no missed chances or opportunities. That which is yours will always be right there on your path with the light shining on. The path will not disappear just because you have a moment of fear. Okay. I am going to actually get a card, a little oracle card. And I actually, after that, I have one more thing to say. I chose this Mystic Manifesting deck, and the reason I have chosen that is because it's showing the different phases of the moon, and because the moon figures so much with the Chinese New Year. Let me actually move this thing. It's a little easier for me. That's why I chose this deck. Okay, so I just want an additional message for things, for the Chinese New Year, the year of the fire horse, any additional messages to add to what I might have said, and I've got 2 pretty much right away. Okay, I have 2. The first one I have is Between Worlds. Work with Spirit to heal blocks and uncover deeper truth. Spirit is my true source. Okay, and I actually really get that feeling here. But remember, the path, your opportunities, our opportunities, they don't go away. You might have to take another lap around to get to them again, but in truth, your true path, what is meant for you, will always be there. Put down the burdens of these fears, and yeah. And the second is Heavenly Embrace. You will never lose. Oh. Wow. You will never lose your way, for all paths will lead you back home. My angels guide me. I'm crying. I'm going to cry. Okay. And I don't know I'm going to put it with the Fool, because there's such trust with the energy of the Fool. That is nice. Okay, the last thing I wanted to say, I sometimes come with a stone that's, seems to maybe add an additional message. Actually, it's not stone, it's metal this time. I've been really drawn to copper, and it's not something I'm normally drawn to. I make jewelry, and I made this copper bracelet recently. I made a few of them. And I just have really enjoyed wearing it. I've enjoyed the energy of it. I'm not exactly sure why. It does feel kind of calming and empowering at the same time. I do think of copper as being a conduit. Now, if you are inclined, you might want to enjoy some copper. If you don't have, that's in older pennies. Older pennies, I think it has to be like, what is it, pre-1962 or something like that. That said, if you want to kind of make something for yourself, you can get a little copper wire at the hardware store. This particular gauge, which is really thin, it's It's slightly thinner than the one I used for my bracelet, but this is 12 gauge wire, and this is 47 cents a foot. You can do a lot with a foot of copper. You can make yourself a little bracelet. This is a thicker gauge, but at one point I was playing with some wire I had, and I made this tarot pointer, which I never use, but maybe I should. I'm going to polish it up a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, that's my little tip, my metal tip for the evening. Be well, be happy, enjoy this time and all of your time. It's yours. It's your gift from the universe, from yourself to you. Anyway, I'll stop talking now. Sweet dreams, sweet now, sweet tomorrow. Bye.